Fighting for freedom, liberty, and the restoration of the Constitution. The Patrick Riggins Show. Call in now at 865-243-8255. That's 243-TALK. And now your host, Patrick Riggins.
And we made it back with music to boot.
Because every good hero
needs
his own theme music.
Exactly. And our hero would be Tori.
Oh, no, children.
Unfortunately, he's no longer on that show.
Oh, no, that was a bad loss. I like that as a case.
Yeah, they got him back, though. Did you see the show where they pieced off his stuff together, his, quote, last show on some part?
Yeah, that was good.
So,
it's also good on I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker.
Yeah, that was a good movie. I really enjoyed that movie. So, don't go find it now, but after the show's over, go find I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker.
And then laugh.
Yes, very much. Lots of laughs in there. That's Keenan Ivory Wayans.
Yeah, it's a Wayans flick.
One of the Wayans flicks. So, all right, back with the Patrick Riggins Show. And this segment, I'd like to ask you, what is government? Is government some... Yeah.
Pain.
Oh, I just heard something from my left side, and I wasn't real sure if it should be on the microphone. Government, is it some benevolent or malevolent entity that lives in Washington, D.C., or lives in your local state capital, Nashville, for us, depending on where you are, where you're listening to the show, or your local city and county seat? No, the answer is government is us. We are government, the people. When a law gets written, is some amorphous entity writing it? No, of course not. It is someone or a group of someones sitting down and deciding that you cannot be trusted to live your life correctly in the way these particular people think you should. So they write a law to make it illegal for you to live your life in a way they don't think you should. These people doing this are your neighbors, your friends, your fellow humans on this planet who have decided they need to tell you what to do. Now, does that sound right to you? Someone telling you how to live your life according to the standards they think you should. When the standard should be you aren't infringing on someone else's natural human rights and they are not infringing on yours. What I want you to just think about to get you to understand, government doesn't exist without humans. Government is just words on a paper. That's it. Nothing more. What makes government work are other human beings. That's the only way government can get anything accomplished, is by working through other humans. So when someone is complaining about government, they're complaining about other humans trying to force them to live in a way these people think they should. Nothing more than that. If you don't live in a way they think you should, they'll penalize you by locking you up in a jail cell, or even worse, killing you. All this overspending, all this trampling on other people's rights, all these crimes, and yes, you can classify most of these excesses as criminal. Things that other humans are doing under the label of government. Things that would get you arrested should you try them. These people are doing it right now under the supposed reasoning that it's this entity called government committing these atrocities, when it isn't. As I just said, government is only words on a piece of paper, a concept in people's minds. It is actual human beings doing these things. Actual people voting to spend more of your money. Actual people advocating and committing the murdering of other people around this world without a trial, without a chance to answer for the crimes they're accused of committing. People are doing these things to other people. If you take anything away from this show today, or away from this show ever, or if this is the only segment of this show you ever hear, it is one of the most important. Government is not an entity. It is people. That's all. Other people doing these things against their fellow humans, fellow inhabitants of this earth. This is why this whole gun debate is just idiotic. I can't be allowed to have a gun, but other human beings can, just because they are functioning under the banner of, quote, government. They say, well, you can't have a gun. And I say, but you government people have guns. Well, sure, we're the government. But aren't you a human just like me, right? Well, yes. So if you're a human like me and you have a gun, then why can't I have one? Because you cannot be trusted to make the correct decisions in the handling of a gun. But wait, you're a human just like me, with the same human frailties, same human temptations. But you can be trusted and I cannot? Well, you see, the government, we're using our guns to protect you. Okay, so are you going to walk around with me as my personal bodyguard? Well, no, we don't have the manpower for that. But you walk around with a personal bodyguard, though, right? Well, sure, I'm more important than you. I thought we founded this country on the fact that all men are created equal. Well, most of us, except for us in government, we are better than you. We are more important than you. Thus, we should have bodyguards.
And bulletproof limos.
And bulletproof limos, exactly.
I want a bulletproof limo.
And automatic weapons, whatever they want. But those bodyguards are paid for by me. But I can't have them too? So I have to pay for your protection, but you aren't going to pay for mine. Well, we're the government and you have the police for that. Well, are they going to walk around with me to keep me from harm? Well, no, we don't have the manpower for that either. So why can't I just protect myself? Well, because we're the government and we don't trust you. Yes, even though we're all human, we don't trust you. But we trust ourselves. Now, to me, that just sounds stupid. I think I should be able to protect myself if I get attacked. Of course, the government would say, look, in society, sometimes individuals must be sacrificed for what the government determines is the greater good for the country. Sometimes you have to break some eggs to make an omelet. Well, that's all well and good unless you're the egg being broken. If someone who is mentally deranged wants a gun, they can buy one. Just like if I want to buy drugs, I can do it. No problem. Even though they're illegal, they are still available. I don't even have to work hard to get them. Same goes for guns. I can get a gun if I want one. So if I want to go on a killing spree, it's fairly easy to do so. But most of these people who do those things aren't dumb enough to try it when people with guns are around. Just look at what happens when the police show up. People with guns. These Nimrods commit suicide because they know what is coming. If we have more people walking around armed, then you aren't going to have these crazies trying this sort of thing as often. It'll still happen, but not as often as it does now. The main problem with all these people are the medications anyway. In fact, I have a story I ran across this week addressing this very issue. Hold on here. Here it is. It's a column by Rebecca Terrell entitled Psychiatric Meds, a Prescription for Murder. And she writes, in a frenzied cry for gun control, the media is rife with details about the firearms Adam Lanza used to kill 20 children and 6 adults before turning a handgun on himself at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newton, Connecticut. But information about Lanza's medical history is scarce, feeding speculation that he may fit the profile of school shooters under the influence of psychotherapeutic medication. In virtually every mass school shooting during the past 15 years, the shooter has been on or in withdrawal from psychiatric drugs, observed Lawrence Hunter of the Social Security Institute. Yet federal and state governments continue to ignore the connection between psychiatric drugs and murderous violence, preferring instead to exploit these tragedies in an oppressive and unconstitutional power grab to snatch guns away from the innocent, law-abiding people who are guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution the right to own and bear arms, to deter government tyranny and to use firearms in self-defense against any miscreant who would do them harm. Unfortunately, there is a striking connection between these school shootings and psychotherapeutic drugs. A couple examples are Kip Kingle, an Oregon teen who murdered his parents and proceeded on a shooting rampage at his high school in 1998, killed 2 and wounded 25 while in Prozac withdrawal. Sean Cooper fired 2 shotgun rounds in 1999 at his Idaho high school while on an antidepressant. The article continues, despite the abundance of such evidence and glut of scientific studies proving real danger, there is yet to be a federal investigation on the link between psychiatric drugs and the acts of senseless violence. Also, between 2004 and 2011, there have been over 11,000 reports to the U.S. FDA's MedWatch system of psychiatric drug side effects related to violence, including 300 homicides. The FDA estimates this total is less than 10% of the actual number of incidents, since most go unreported. There is also plenty of official agitation for gun control. Lawrence Hunter, who we quoted before in the article here, he also says, it is pharmaceutical makers, not law-abiding gun owners or gun manufacturers, who should be held to account for the series of lone wolf mass shootings that have occurred since the widespread use of psychiatric drugs began. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention revealed in 2011 that 11% of Americans aged 12 years and over take antidepressant medication. CDC statistics also revealed a 400% increase in the rate of antidepressant use in the United States between 1988 and 2008. As of 2008, antidepressants were the most frequently used drug by persons aged 18 to 44. So, you see, the real problem isn't guns. We've had guns around since the founding of this country, and even before, but we haven't seen these large numbers of people on these advanced medications before. Medications we aren't entirely sure how they will affect each individual taking them. For the most part, they seem to be doing their jobs okay, but unfortunately, when they don't work correctly, the outcome can be catastrophic. All right, we're up on the bottom of the hour break here on The Patrick Riggins Show. When we come back, we will talk about the devolving of government, and also we'll talk about the infamous drones when we come back here on The Patrick Riggins Show. Join us in a couple of minutes.